Trafford. Congratulations, Morgan. And I know you've joined us a little bit under duress. What would you be rather doing right now?
Celebrating with the boys in the changing room, but it's all good.
We won't keep you too long, and then we'll let you get in there. Put that into words for us, Morgan. Winning at Anfield this season already, and now doing it at Old Trafford too.
It's hard to put into words, but we have to keep believing in the process, keep believing in the manager, and believe we've got a good enough squad to compete at this level. We've shown it away at Anfield, and we've shown it again tonight. We'll be disappointed that we've conceded 2 goals, but at the same time, I think we did well to continue the game out and manage it.
What did you think your team did well tonight? You let Manchester United have a lot of the ball. Was that always the plan?
Yeah, obviously we found a way to, first off, I think the first 15 minutes we struggled with their midfield getting on the ball and driving a couple of times, and then we nullified that after about 30 minutes, and then it was just about when we get the chances, just taking the opportunity, and I think the boys did that.
Morgan, congratulations and well done. What was the message at half-time? Was there any tactical changes or tweaks from the manager?
Yeah, it was for me and Woody to stay more narrow, so we can control their 2 midfielders and then be pressed from the wingers. And they seemed to work. We won a couple of balls back when they tried to play and got them on the counter a couple of times. And, that's the game plan. We stuck to it. We believed in what the manager wanted, and it showed off.
You certainly did on the counter, and your goal actually came from that. Well, congratulations, Jeremy Redknapp, by the way. Just talk us through it. I've watched you score a few, bending them in the top corner. What about that strike? I bet you didn't think that one was going to go in.
I didn't at all, to be fair. Don't want to discredit Onana. He's a great keeper, incredible keeper. But when I first took the shot, I thought he's just going to pick it up, and it went in. But you count them, don't you?
Of course.
So yeah, I'm happy to contribute to the team. But I'm just delighted we got the 3 points.
And also, I just felt in the first half you had 18 touches, 29 in the second half. Just give us because I thought after you scored, you just looked like you was enjoying it. You had the freedom in the park. You were playing almost like it was a 5-a-side. What does it do when you actually score a goal and that feeling? Because it looked like you couldn't make a bad pass after that. You was absolutely flying.
Yeah, I think in the first half it's difficult just to get the momentum going, especially with how we play now. We're so compact, we're so tight. We try and break teams down a little bit. So it's difficult to get on the ball, create, and do the things you want to do, but you have to believe in what the manager wants, and it's proven. But then second half, you get the goal, you get a bit of confidence in you, and then you just play football.
Love it.
On a personal level, Morgan, It was your second goal of the season and your first assist as well. You assisted for Chris Wood's goal. Are you a numbers person? Is that something you look at?
Yeah, I've been crying for an assist all season. I have, but I love working with Woody. He's an incredible striker to work with. I just know exactly where he's going to be, what he's going to do. He's always peeling off defenders, coming in front. I picked him out nicely, and to be fair to him, he did all the work by putting it back post. It's a great header, it's a great finish, and fair play to him. He's on a roll, and yeah, like I said, I just love playing with him at the minute.
Certainly did. It was a great ball in from you, though, Morgan. And you're up to 5th again now, which I don't know if you've discussed with the guys. That might be enough for Champions League football next season. Is that something that we're allowed to think about, talk about?
The ambition is obviously always to keep progressing, keep getting better game by game. You want to play at the highest level possible in football. But like I said, we're just taking it game by game, focusing on the next opponent. And I feel like that's all we can do, just keep ticking off boxes, and, hopefully it will come.
Yeah, well, I'm hearing on good authority that the party's still ongoing in the dressing room, Morgan, so away you go.
Thank you for speaking to us. The music's still going on, so I need to go.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Cheers, guys. Thank you. Thank you.
And they deserve to party.
It is amazing though, when you look at him there and you see those 2 stars on his shirt, European Cups. It's amazing. And you talk about the Champions League and you go, anything can happen. And they are in great form. Feeling like you actually said before the game, Phil, you felt this would be a really tricky fixture for Manchester United.
I think they've done brilliant this season. Probably surprised quite a few. I think the way they set up when they go to the big teams, they did it at Liverpool, really stifled them, closed the spaces down, made it difficult to play against, but also not just the defensive structure. They had the ability to, carry a threat on the counter, which they did. And they've done that today as well. I thought they were terrific.
They got a brilliant start in this game, of course. 91 seconds. It helps when you go to Old Trafford to get a start like this from the set piece.
Yeah, set pieces, Phil, obviously it's the buzzword right now. Everyone's talking about it. It's such an in vogue thing. Just tell me, first of all, let's set up a Manchester United setup. What do you see with what they're trying to achieve here?
Well, I think they've got Bruno and Højlund patrolling the front post, yeah. And then they've got the three markers in the middle who predominantly will go and win the header, which is Yoro, De Ligt,
They're the ones on the...
and Dalot, yeah, these three here. Yeah. Garnacho's looking after the pullback. And then you've got your two man markers with Kobe and Martinez.
And Ahmad is
Ahmad's probably doing the job on Murillo, but also if the ball gets played to the edge of the box, he's ready to step up as well and try and block the shot. But they're not, like we said at half time, they're not in a bad setup, they're not in a bad shape. What I would say is it's 10 versus 6 in the box. I think we spoke about it off air.
May not everyone back,
If you played a game with a 10 versus 6 in a box, I'm not sure the 6 go and score. But listen, United will be really disappointed with the start, really disappointed they didn't make first contact with the header. Yeah.
And the difference from the midweek, obviously everyone was talking about the goals that Arsenal scored. In-swinging corner from, Saka and then Declan Rice. This one is actually an outswinger by Anderson. Really good delivery. There's a goal scorer there, Milenkovic and Yates and Murillo. That's where they get the problem, because how do you feel as a centre-back, and this was something that you had to deal with. I know we talk about he's blocking Martinez, but he's never really, I don't feel, in a great position. He's looking, he's not really facing the ball.
He's almost too fixated on stopping him from scoring ultimately. But as the balls come in, his body shape is probably a little bit wrong. He should be a bit more side on. As we said, Diogo gets dragged to the ball a little bit. I mean, don't get me wrong, we're talking about really fine margins here, but at this level, it matters.
Great delivery. And a towering header. You have to talk about the header and the power. I just feel as well, I mean, we spoke about this at half time. Dalot is in that sort of front. He's the front of the three, like you mentioned.
Can I just ask Phil, is that gap normal? You would expect there to be
I don't think
space gap between.
Look, I don't think the gaps there are too. They're not in the wrong position. I think the problem was that Diogo Dalot gets sucked underneath the ball even a couple of yards, which allows Milenkovic to come in and tower and header, and obviously Martinez should be more aggressive and stop him from getting his run.
Because he is inside the post there, the inside post, but then by the time that ball comes in, he ends up outside the post. If he probably stays where he is and attacks it, Martinez gets bullied, let's be totally honest. Milenkovic is probably thinking to himself, this is my lucky day. I'm too big, too powerful, too strong for you. Dalot, I don't really like in that position. He's not going to attack the ball. He gets under it and he doesn't really give the full, the aggressive nature to win the ball. And once it comes in, if it's the right delivery, Milenkovic has already got his eyes on it. Yates is going to do a little bit as well to just cause as much disruption as he can. And then it comes in, and you can see Dalot ends up in the wrong position.
I mean, potentially, if you think about it, perhaps if you rewind that
back, yeah, of course.
Potentially, if you put Diogo Dalot as the third centre half, De Ligt as the front one, and so you got your two main headers, your first one and your second one to go and attack the ball. The ball's in the air, going to be in the air far longer with an outswinger for the back post. So if it is Diogo Dalot, he's got enough time to go and try. But listen, it's fine margin. Ultimately, they've got to defend better than first.
And I think we've got to mention as well that Manchester United have changed their set-piece coach. They've got a new guy in that the manager's brought in. And listen, Carlos Fernandes, his name is, and they had another guy that was doing. But this doesn't work for me. I'm even thinking here, if you were to say right now, there's a couple of people in the Premier League that you don't want to mark. One is Gabriel from set-pieces, and the other one has to be Chris Wood. Ugarte, he must be, I don't know, I haven't stood next to him, but he's 5'10" max. And he's up against Chris Wood. If that ball comes in there, mismatch, goal. So nobody really in this situation is taking control. There is not one bit of confidence in that when I look at it.
Marking is 6'5" Milenkovic.
Huh?
6'5" Milenkovic.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So they're getting it wrong. Not just there. If it falls to Chris Wood, he's going to score.
I mean,
as well.
There was a real sense of vulnerability. I mean, we could sense it just watching the game in the crowd. You could sense that, and it was almost infectious. Every time the ball went out for a corner, you felt that.
This is Carlos Fernandes, who's been brought along by Ruben Amorim, and he's made it clear that this is the guy that's in charge of defensive set pieces now. It was previously somebody else who's still on the coaching staff, and he says he's still helping the ex-Brentford set piece coach, Andreas Jorgensen. Now, actually, regardless of who's in charge, last season only 3 teams, I think, conceded more goals from corners than Manchester United. So now it's 3 conceded in 2 games as well, 2 against Arsenal, 1 here against Forest. Is the problem more, actually, Phil, having people who can head the ball in those positions or are big enough in those positions to deal with that situation?
Yeah, it's a fair point. I mean, I think when we're talking about the set piece, I think we can really be over analytical these days and go into so much detail so we're almost blue in the face. But ultimately, go and attack the ball, be aggressive, and get first contact on the ball. And United didn't do that enough today.
I think there is a fear factor right now with set pieces. Everybody is terrified because everyone's got set pieces, coach. I think if you actually said to a team, right, the corner's going to come in, maybe if you said to Ahmad, Garnacho, you go out the pitch, let's ask a question. There was almost too many cooks. There's too many people in there that are getting in the keeper's way. Everyone is it's become robotic. This is my area. I have to be careful. The ball comes in, I'm going to attack it. Instead of going, there's only one ball, don't attack the ball. And be a little bit more, almost a little more old school. There's almost too much that's going into this rather than, because sometimes a set piece coach, as good as they are unbelievable. What the guy is doing at Arsenal, what he's doing at Aston Villa, sometimes they haven't, most of them haven't really played the game. I know at Brentford they have Keith Andrews, obviously he played at the top level, but some of them actually, when you get in on that pitch, you've got to smell it. You've got to feel that. And like someone like Phil, when you said to him, listen, that ball's coming in, mate. Drogba was unbelievable at it. Go and head that ball. I think that everyone's like, when you get zonal, it takes away accountability because everyone's, well, I've got my error, I'm okay. It doesn't always work like that.
Yeah, I think
you used to have to stand there and edit yourself.
To counter that, what I would say is when you are man for man, the amount of jostling and shirt pulling that goes on in the box, it's so easy to get blocked. When we used to do man for man, I always used to say that if my man, I was a second, and if my man was going to go across the front post, rather than me trying to jostle him and pull his shirt, I would just say to my partner, listen, you take the front post, I'll take the middle man, and we can try and deal with it that way. But it's about taking responsibility, and you've got to go and make first contact.
That's it. I agree. I can absolutely see what you're saying. But sometimes when I see now teams that say, we're going to get our blockers. Now, Ahmad in that situation, he's a blocker. It's pointless in being. I've seen Bernardo Silva do it. He's pointless. And even there with Martinez, you've got to have people that are going to be good enough to head the ball. There's no point just blocking someone. It's not that easy with these big guys like Milenkovic. It becomes very difficult.
A situation to watch certainly for Manchester United under Ruben Amorim, but also their system is just finding its way still. It's still a fledgling work in progress. Did we see how it does work though, JJ?
Yeah, we certainly did. And I think this is a good example here. We'll stop it there. You've got your back three there. They're all in a good position. You've got your two midfield players there, Mainu and Agate. You've got your two wing backs. Certainly one, Ahmad, is obviously slightly higher in that position. And then you've got your two, it's almost in that inside left, inside right position in Garnacho and Fernandes, and then there's your number 9 up there. So that is the system that he wants to employ. And what I like about this one really is Bruno Fernandes, because once you can get the other side of teams, let me just clear that second, you end up in a good position. Watch Bruno here, because he's almost playing like he's not interested. He's almost turned his back. There he is there, number 8. But what he's going to do is a brilliant piece of midfield play and opposite movement, because he knows they can't slide that ball into Agate there, but they can play to him, and then all of a sudden he can just lay a lovely little pass into Agate, and then you're off. Two midfield players are getting marked man for man. Bruno's getting marked there by Newcastle. Help me out, you guys. Anderson, yeah, and then you've got Yates that's marking Garnacho, man for man. So when they try to do that, if you can get the other side of him, there obviously you can get into a good situation. They get a little bit of movement. Now watch Bruno come alive. Pops that one off, and then straight away, you're in there. Now, the other thing I want to mention here is you've got Garnacho and Yates. He was man for man for him. But what he does, he gets attracted to Højlund, because he sees that one. But Agate actually does so well, because he realises in that ball, I can just, at the right moment, just slide that ball through to Garnacho, which he does perfectly. You can see that he's gone to the ball, he's left his man. Bit of a poor touch, but it falls really well for Højlund.
He gets caught in two minds. I mean, again, we're talking about fine margins, but if he does get back rather than trying to go and influence the ball, he forces the ball out wide, and maybe they can deal with the cross a little bit better than being penetrative to the middle.
Great football from you.
It really is. It's like a passing drill, you know. The centre half, he's been nice and patient. You know, I like the patience of them. They've just got to go down after 90 seconds. De Ligt is not trying to force the ball. Bruno, nice little shift away, comes back, pops the ball back, and it's a great goal. It's a really good goal.
Take those as well. Højlund needs them. There's confidence.
They're feeling good about themselves at half-time. Won't go in one apiece. And then Morgan Gibbs-White has just explained to us the little tactical tweak that Forest made at half-time. So why did that create problems for Manchester United? 114 seconds into the second half.
Yeah, I mean, if you roll it on here, look, two terrible starts, 90 seconds and 120 seconds or whatever it was. Look, I thought Bruno was really good today. He really was. This was probably his only bad ball, bad decision of the game.
Gibbs-White in a central position.
Central position shot, and of course he said it in the interview just then that he didn't expect the ball to go in the back of the net.
So what are we thinking about the goalkeeper here? It's tough for you to say.
Yeah, listen. What I will say, he will be disappointed with that. When we watch it back, it's not a great watch. I'd like to give him a bit of credit and say the ball's deviated.
I was going to ask if that may be a factor.
It's hardly like one of the knuckle balls, or he should be saving it.
Does it look like he's shaping to shoot in that corner, Jamie?
You can't defend him there. He's falling backwards. His balance is wrong. He's got his weight on his heels. Sometimes it's hard for us as players to analyse. Because I never played in goal. I didn't even do it even in training. I just didn't want to do it. But that is fundamentally just really bad goalkeeping. He knows it. He doesn't need us to tell us on to everyone.
I think what you would say, he's made a mistake there, but he's been terrific so far this season.
Yeah, he has. Yeah. But that's one that you just have to say. And you talk about tactical tweaks all you like, but that goal just changed everything. Because straight away you're on the back foot. We've seen it before under Ten Hag. Doesn't matter which manager. Then you're thinking, right, let's get back in the game as quickly as we can.
I think this is the point where they smelt blood here. They could sense a real frustration around the stadium.
A bit more confidence in their play as well.
A lot more confidence.
Especially from this guy.
Yeah.
He was now, his tail's up, he scored. That's why I asked him the question. And once you start to get him on the ball field, it's a major problem because he's enjoying himself.
Yeah, he's a top player. He really is. He delivered for Nottingham Forest when they needed it today. It is a good ball. That's not the goal there, but it's got to be, this maybe Diogo's got to be a bit stronger there and win the ball.
Maybe that was his sight. Yeah.
But this one here,
actually, I'll let it go. Just go talk about the header first of all.
Listen, the header's it's a good header. I think Martinez will be disappointed that he didn't manage to clear it. Potentially, Anderson made it more difficult for the keeper. Whether does he come, does he not? But I think when United look at this and they rewind the tape, it's another soft goal to concede.
I want to talk to you before the game. We spoke about Lenny Yoro. Obviously, got tremendous qualities. He's 19 years of age. Yep. He's going to be a good player. Make no mistake. But I did feel at some point in the game, I mentioned this was going to happen. Chris Wood on Yoro, and now he's thinking, I'm in a good position here. It just felt for me, and of course he's a young player and he's going to learn all the time, but these are the problems that the Premier League throws up at you. And I just feel Chris Wood, throughout this sort of, from his goal, just bosses the situation with Lenny. As the ball comes in, you can see that Lenny at Yoro now, just take that back, Phil, just tell me about this. So he sort of puts his arm on him there.
Structurally, they're not in a bad position there. Look,
defensively,
you're not in a bad position.
What about Lenny there?
Again, he's not really in a difficult position. What happens is the ball gets played in, and I've been there myself when the ball's been hung up at the back stick, and you desperately know it's going to go over the back of your head.
Yeah.
What I would say there is a more experienced player might just run straight into the back of him and try and put him off balance a little bit. Maybe, makes the header go a little bit.
Could he have got a bit more? I'm being picky here.
Yeah.
Could he have got maybe a little bit more body to body?
Of course he can get tighter, and of course when he looks at it, he'll realise that he's got to get tighter. Listen, he's a young lad. He's going to learn. He's only going to get better. He's a good signing for Man United, and I'm excited to see more of him. But yes, he will be a little bit disappointed. But I think he's probably looking at his other centre half maybe and thinking,
what's going on here at this back post, Phil? Please tell us.
Yeah, it's not great watch. I think Onana could potentially get it, but then gets caught in two minds whether De Ligt or Martinez is going to influence the ball. They all get caught in a bit of a mix-up, and it's ended up in the back of the net. But again, another avoidable goal.
Yeah, it really was. And I think Martinez has it feels he's got to deal with it. But like you said, it was a long way back for United from that point, Jamie. They did get one. They had time. They certainly had time, David. And we felt once Bruno this is a great goal from his perspective. You thought like they're back in this game. Brilliant side volley here. He pings it out to Ahmad.
That's terrific.
And he gets in the box.
Ahmad Bright again? Is that another plus point?
Listen, I love Ahmad. I said it last season when he scored the winner against Liverpool in the Cup. That he'll play a really big part this season, and I've been proven right. He's creative. He does the hard yards. He likes to go that way, but he can do the other way as well.
And do you think this system suits Bruno Fernandes?
I think so, yeah. I think you're playing higher up in a system. And look, Bruno Fernandes is a terrific football player, and you build the team around him. He's got that much quality. And if you get him in the right areas, he can hurt you. And you see he was just giving the goalkeeper the eyes and reversed the ball. Great finish, got them back in the game. And you're thinking from this point now with, 20 minutes left, 15 minutes left, that they could go on and at least get the point. But credit to Nottingham Forest, who are really resolute and defended well.
Made the substitution of Bruno Fernandes not too long after that, Ruben Amorim.